What's happening, so fam? So I'm gonna teach you something that I don't really teach people all that often because some people just don't get it, okay? So you see that right there, all right? These are all books that have been talking to me, and they basically have told me, pick me up, pull me off of the shelf somewhere over here, pick me up, open me up to the first page that feels juicy. Similar to like when you're shuffling your tarot deck and you just know, oh, it's time to stop right here, right? They tell me stop right here and then put me on the stack. Now this happens to me a lot. Like I have a lot of my friends that are like, wait, the books talk to you? Yes. Yes, they do. They will tell me, oh, pick up this one book. I probably have never read it in my life. I've owned it, I don't know, like 7 years, right? And it's like, you should open me to chapter 4, page 22, read the third paragraph. And I'm like, okay. I pick it up, I read it, and it's in alignment with whatever it is that I'm experiencing. If you don't know anything about esoteric knowledge and esoteric books, a lot of esoteric books have a consciousness of their own. All right, so a lot of esoteric books, when you start off like reading them, they'll tell you like, even if you don't comprehend what is being said here, read through the whole entire thing, and experience is going to teach you. You just want to activate your subconscious mind with this knowledge, and everything else is going to follow as a byproduct, right? Not always do you need to read an entire book to absorb the crucial information that you need. Now, there are some pretty famous people there that like can attest to this type of technique. There's a technique that the creator of Mind Valley learned how to use. It's called Silva Ultramind, where you literally pick up a book and you put your hand on that book and you allow yourself to just kind of like download instantaneously all the information from that book. That's one technique of you being able to do it. You never have to read the book. You just have to allow yourself to interpret the information. Now, when you interpret the information, it's not always going to be like coherent like when you read a regular book. It might just be downloaded. You have like this information like, oh, I understand, right? And then you live your life and you start experiencing the knowledge that you downloaded from the book in real time. So each chapter can actually be a physical experience instead of actually reading it, having to comprehend it, and then apply it, right? Sometimes this is really beneficial. You don't want to do this with just any book, and you don't want to do this just like willy-nilly, because some books are not beneficial for you to digest, right? So you have to be very careful. That's why every book that I have here is essentially all about esoterica or medicine. And how this little strip right here started off was because I was actually channeling a lot of Thoth, and I was channeling a lot of King Solomon. So King Solomon told me to pick up the Book of Light, and I started reading a chapter of the Book of Light at the same time that Thoth told me to read a book out of a chapter out of Corpus Hermeticism, which is his book about the afterlife. So then while reading both of them, I was reading them side by side, and I ended up seeing like, whoa, I feel like I just read this same line in King Solomon's book. And I was like, okay, let me cross-reference. And I saw that like I was understanding a bigger picture of something from the perspective of Thoth and King Solomon individually, while still stitching a greater truth in between that merged with my understanding of whatever it was that I was processing, that allowed me to create a higher reality, an updated reality than just what I was reading by itself. And that kind of like took me into this whole thing of like going into really profound meditation, right? And then once I was done reading those books, they told me, okay, flip me to the next page. So these two books right here are actually the first two books that I started. One of them's the Corpus Hermeticism, the other one is the Book of Light. All right, so they said, open me up to this next chapter, face me upside down, put me on the shelf, and when you're ready to read us, then we're going to go ahead and we're going to let you know. And I said, okay. I was like, I wonder how long it's going to be. All right, it's probably been like about a month now. So started off with these two books, then like all of a sudden I heard another book humming, and I was like, hey, open me up to this page, put me face down with the rest of the books. When you're ready to read the whole entire message, we're going to read it. Okay? And that has been happening over the course of the month. As you can see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 different books that I am going to be reviewing in just a few minutes. This is how my highest levels of research come out, okay? And I actually probably have 12 books total, not even 10, because there's 2 on this table right now that I'm reading that I know that are going to mix in with what I'm about to find out here. Now, what the books want to talk to me about is completely custom to what I'm trying to experience right now, what I'm trying to manifest, what I'm manifesting for other people. A lot of what I do is about not only understanding myself, but understanding the greater dynamics of manifestation within health and the body and consciousness. So I have a really huge feeling that this is all going to be about death and rebirth in some level. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share with you the process. Now, I haven't reviewed any of these books, okay? Some of these books I don't think I've even read yet at all, but they're open to a certain page. Some of them I haven't touched for years, but now they're open to a certain page. You're going to see how each individual chapter clicks into the next one. And sometimes it's not always going to be super coherent. Sometimes you're going to have to like wait, meditate, and kind of like make sense of it. But I'm going to show you and share with you my experience of having books and the esoteric talk to me. This is something that you learn also in Feng Shui. When Feng Shui tells you like everything has consciousness. I lose my keys. I'm like, keys, where are you? I need to find you. Gotta go. And they show up out of nowhere, right? If I'm looking for headphones, I'll do the same thing. You know, they're like my babies, right? These books are my babies. These books are my friends. I teach you in Antojai Alchemy that vibration is your friend. When you change your perception of reality, reality will change the way it interacts with you. You are only as magical as your perception of magic allows you to be, right? So I have my friends who are constantly asking me, how do you do that? I just listen. The moment that I hear a book is telling me to do something, instead of me questioning myself and being like, is this me? Is this me? I just do it. I open it. What's it going to kill me to open the book and leave it there? Nothing. And I continue on my day. When they want me to read it, I'll read it. When it's relevant, I'll read it. Time doesn't exist. It's based off of my interest, of my consciousness, understanding the information, when I'll be able to find the divine time to read it. Okay? So I'm going to take you through this little experience of mine. But it's pretty easy. Just go on into your library, or you might go on the internet and go ahead and pick out a book that calls out to you. All right? And even if you don't know what it is that you're looking for, just trust the book, flip through the pages until you feel like one page wants to be opened or a certain chapter wants to be opened. Read that particular phrase, that sentence, that paragraph, whatever, and let it absorb. Treat it like your tarot card deck, and you're going to be expanding your knowledge in ways that you never even thought possible. So the rest of these little reads are going to be on an audio tape, so you can kind of see how they stitch together. I'm going to be showing you how they stitch together in my reality, because obviously this is going to be more so towards my reality, but the messages might also be very much so connected to you in some way, shape, or form. So stay open with an open mind, and I will see you in the next episodes.